Good morning, pregame crew. Good morning, good morning. Audio visual check, please. Hi, Veronica, All Natural, Jorge, CK, Sam, Wave Trader. Thank y'all so much for all your help. Henry, Jason, Jorge, I already said hi to you. A Blue Dog, Sue, Bobby, Tamazon. Good morning. Hi, Bobo and Butuse from Jersey. Perfect. Hey, Chuck. We will get started in just a few minutes. Take a few gulps of coffee. Hi, Davy Baby, Brian, Ra, Steve. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're having a good morning. I barely made the cutoff for my area. They cut the energy off for 2 hours, electricity, and I'm literally on the other side of the road. So I am so happy I have electricity this morning. Bats is fine. All right, thanks. What's the time? The time where I am is here, 6:28. If you could hit the like button, that would be great. It kind of reminds me in elementary school, they'd have class favorites, and you're like, please vote for me. And it's hard to ask people to vote for you, or maybe that was just my country redneck, whatever. But if you could hit that like button, please, it would help us. All right, I'm Chart Gal Lori. I am part of the Chart Guys community. We teach technical analysis. This is the pregame show. If you've landed here by mistake, stay anyway. If you're here on purpose, thank you. I go over the Fab Four futures, commodities, crypto, and movers and shakers of the day. It is FOMC day. It is the most let's see. Yes, I do have rotating electricity loss. Well, it's new. I mean, we're new to the area, but yeah, it just happened. So this is FOMC day. This is extreme caution day. So my husband, he always calls it my Super Bowl. So I have Super Bowl once a quarter. I actually have 2 Super Bowls once a quarter. And yeah, everything in our family goes back to sports. It's FOMC day and Amazon earnings days. Those are my favorite days or favorite things to trade, or it's just something I have to be hyper aware of. Well, today I made a hair appointment right in the middle of FOMC, so obviously it's not that important to me. But the way that I see the market and how things are set up is extremely noisy. Hang Seng bounced overnight, which it was pretty beat up. So it did get a bounce. We got the dead cat bounce happening in pre-market on these Chinese names, and that was one of the things that we were eyeing as a community, is trading that third gap down and getting that reversal pattern, and it didn't really play out because it's bouncing pre-market. We want it to just completely dump and then at open start buying the dip and match the bear aggression. So if you're interested in my chart setup, the yellow and purple is 50 and 200 simple moving average. The green and red are the 8 and 21 EMA. The yellow candles are the JC inside bars, and it's just when in range. So for instance, this 30-minute bar here on ES, it stayed within that mother bar range. It's an inside bar and painted yellow. All right, so I'm going to clear that off. CM Ultimate RSI Multi-Time Frame by Chris Moody, and TTM Squeeze Thinkorswim Default. I like to call it Burger King colors. So when it's Burger King colors down here, that is bearish. And we get those pretty blue aqua, it is bullish momentum. This is the momentum histogram, and it just shows who has the Momo at the time. So let's go to the hourly. I like to start on the hourly. Going to clear everything off. We have an inside bar here, so we still have 29 minutes left on this candle. So if you look at my time here, 6:31, This is an hourly chart, so 29 minutes until this candle closes, and we're still within the range of the prior candle. So this is an official inside bar, and this candle is not officially an inside bar because we haven't closed yet. We have 28 minutes remaining in this. And by the way, I don't monitor the chat room when I'm ripping through these names in 20 minutes. I go over about 20 names in 20 minutes, so I have to go pretty fast. We have mods there that can answer whatever questions you may have. So our resistance on this inside bar is 4,400, and we're right there, 4,450 cents. Support 43.93.50. We're testing this hourly 50 MA. For clarity, I'm looking as well, for clarity for me, it's this 4-hour chart. Do y'all remember a couple Fridays ago when we had that great NASDAQ and Apple short? Well, this is somewhat the same. However, we are getting over these 821 EMAs. So I'm still looking for a 4-hour lower high on NASDAQ compared to 1513.150. If Apple reverses, Google is strong, and Microsoft is strong, then this short idea won't work. Let me say that again. If Apple remains strong, let's look at Apple. So Apple's has a good little bounce going. But this is very similar to that Friday play where we ran up into the 4-hour EMAs and then we played a short off of that. NASDAQ has a similar setup, but we've got a few things working against us for a short, and that is we have earnings, we have lots and lots of upgrades, and these names can have, you know, some pretty volatile reactions, and we have FOMC today. FOMC could just make this blast through 1513.150 and never look back, or at the next resistance 1513.4. It could have it totally blast off. So FOMC changes things, and you'll hear people say on TV, other traders or economists, they will say risk off. This is a risk off day where you just, so when you hear that, just put your hands up and back away from the computer. That's what it's telling you, is just back up. This could be a very volatile day, and if you're a newer trader, this is the day that you could lose a lot of money. And how do I know? Because I did it. I lost money on FOMC days trading these binary events. I mean, unless you're a major economist and you're maybe married to Jerome Powell, you don't know what's going to happen today. So you have to be very, very cautious. We call it oven mitts in TCG. Put on your oven mitts, put your hands underneath your legs, do whatever you got to do so you don't overtrade today and give away all your money to the more experienced traders who will gladly take it. So I think it was the 30-minute, we're getting over that 200 MA. It does have a rising wedge look to it. Of course, I can't draw it because it's not a perfect rising wedge, but it does have that look to it. 15052 is the level where I'm going to be watching for price to potentially pause. Prior support levels where price pivoted can then become resistance. So it was support, it can be resistance. So if we look at our names, we have RTY bouncing the hardest, which it's been pretty beat up. Did any of you get that IWM short? Wow, that was so much fun yesterday. I love those high conviction trades where the probabilities are higher. It's like sitting on a full house or on a straight where the probabilities are in your favor. That was a fun one. So we have RTY bouncing the hardest. I'm not going to say it's the strongest, but it's bouncing the hardest. Then NASDAQ thanks to earnings, then ES, and then YM. I want to stop here and make a comment on earnings. All of the names, I shouldn't say all, those are generalizations and dangerous, but the majority of names of these big companies, they've all been beating, but they're not getting accepted well. Let's look at Generac. Generac just beat this morning. Look at this. They beat. Why? Because they were priced to perfection. They were already running hard. What names are bucking this trend? Names like Google. Google beat, and they're getting wide approval or bullish embrace, whatever word you want to use. But they're beating and they're getting favorable acceptance of that earnings beat, and price is reflecting that. It's the names with the ads. Snap, Twitter, Google all had great earnings, and they're getting positively received by the market. We have names like Apple who absolutely crushed it, and they're not, I mean, we're red, which they did say they had some supply chain issues, but overall, the names with ad revenue are getting very positive acceptance into or after their earnings reaction. I should have thought of that word before I went live. So we have earnings. Is Roku earnings today? It shows today after earnings. So Roku and Facebook, they have lots of ad revenue. They are set up well for a positive earnings reaction because they are very heavily ad revenue dependent. What are other names that are ad revenue dependent? Pens. Pens has earnings, it looks like tomorrow. I like Pens to the bullish side. So how would I trade this? I could do some lotto calls, like 75 calls that expire Friday. And lotto for me is about 10% of my normal option size. So I hope that diatribe helped. We have a potential daily bull flag on YM, and we have daily inside bar support 34762, resistance 35040. Very bullish pattern. So when we kind of zoom into the 4 hour, we have like a 4 hour head and shoulders. Y'all know I don't like those head and shoulders patterns. They are the least reliable pattern. And when you zoom out, you say, oh, look at that potential daily bull flag. So which one do you play? Always, always, always the higher time frame. Let me say that again. When you have conflicting patterns, in this case, YM with a potential 4 hour head and shoulders, or daily bull flag, always the higher time frame wins. TTD, will TTD have ad revenue? I think I read that as well. When are their earnings? I don't know when their earnings are. If you know when TTD earnings are, if you could let me know, that'd be great. But I did read where they have some ad revenue as well. This chart looks bullish on TTD. It had a green day and a sea of red, and we had some dip buying. Got a new high in after hours, or at least a high over the prior day close. So on the daily, your next resistance is up at 92.11. So I like that chart. Now let me get back to my rat killing, as my mom would say. So right now, the Dow names look poised really well. You know what's going to help the Dow, which we have a 30-minute squeeze, is BA. BA had an earnings beat, and they are crushing it. So they had earnings beat. This is their first profitable quarter, I believe, in 2 years. They did have some negative news on deliveries, so be careful. Bears love to hate this name. 240.77 is a Mars level, and I would give it to 241. That's where bears will be looking to pile in this name, the name they love to hate. RTY. Man, I'm jumping all around today. So sorry about that. So on the hourly, we have resistance 220540, 220870. We have an uptrend. And as long as we have hourly uptrend on whatever name you're looking at, stay with the trend. Support 2194. Gold could have a very volatile day. We've been watching this hourly 200 MA, and we talked about potentially shorting it. Well, it worked again. We're currently within the prior hours range, resistance 1798.90, 1793.70. I would reserve trading the gold for only the gold bugs, the people who trade it on the regular. Today will be a very volatile name for gold. Support again 1793, 1792. Oil, I don't know. Oil is right up there with RTY. I don't know why I love to pick on it, but look at this 4 hour 200 MA whacking price down. And we came up, we got over the 72.43 by 17 cents and a reject. What is that? That's rising wedge action. We get those tiny higher highs with very little follow through, rising wedge action. So on the hourly, I'm looking for a lower high short compared to 72.60. I've already taken one QM contract short, and I'll take another one with a stop up at 72.75. I'm giving it 15 cents over 72.60. Your support didn't give you that. Sorry about that. Support 71.70. Okay, thank you so much, Prashel. Thank you so much. Rosie, I'll look at mRNA for you. Let me get through crypto and then I'll look at it. So crypto, we got a bull break. So I was noting in our TCG chat room, this is something that's probably newer to my analysis style in the last year and a half, especially with the swing report, where I'm really factoring in SOTIMA slope of the EMA in my analysis, and it shows me that momentum. I want you to look at the 8 and 21 EMA separation, and if you have the 12 and 26, look at that separation. It'll give you the same type of data. Look at Ethereum separation. You see how it's so close together. I drew this in the room. It had very flat momentum compared to Bitcoin. Look at that separation. that 8 EMA, what does that mean when the 8 EMA is sloping up higher? It just means the average of the prior 8 candles, it's really gaining velocity to the upside, and the bulls are driving the car faster. So let me just make a real generalization. So the bulls are driving this 60 miles per hour on the 8 EMA, and the ETH, they're driving it like 25 miles per hour. If I could actually get the slope of the EMA with some geometry wizards, that'd be really cool to mentally see that they're just not driving the car that fast. And I made that observation a few hours ago or a couple hours ago, and then we got that bull break from Bitcoin. Then I jumped in a short with the room, and it looks like we are rejecting pretty hard. And rejecting just means that the bulls ran out of steam. Look at what they had to do to get price up here. And taking a breather is not frowned upon. If what's her name? Simone Biles is her name. If she can take a breather, then so can Bitcoin. Maybe the Bitcoin bulls are having mental health and they just need a little break, a little time out. They can go to the bench and get some water. I'm not making fun of Simone. I'm so glad that she stood up for what her health needs are. Well, Bitcoin bulls may be doing the same thing, saying we just need a break and a return to the EMAs on the hourly. And that's all we're doing here is coming back to the bench. Think of the EMA as a bench. You grab your water, you grab your towel. Support 39251, 373712. Okay, wait, sorry. Another support level before this 39251 is 39391. Okay. Ethereum, of course, pulling back harder, 224510, 220410. Resistance, that little break, 2347, and then 3437. I'm noticing this with Ethereum, so watch this. So on Ethereum, we broke this key resistance by what? Is that $26.80? And then we rejected. They shorted it as if it were a double top. It's happening more and more on Ethereum. Look at this, 233560, 2347. So it broke it by what? $12 and rejected. Be careful when we get these little bull breaks and then we reject. That's the sucker punch. Why do they do that? Well, if they can trap bulls in and you get that break and then they stop all the bears out, get the bulls to pile in and then reverse it, then they've hurt both parties. So I don't believe in conspiracy, the they theory, and they get to collect fees, by the way, on all these stop outs, but you just have to be aware of it and wiggle room, wiggle room, wiggle room. And how can you give yourself wiggle room? Position size down will give you wiggle room. Okay, I said I'd go over mRNA. So Jason will be going live in 15 minutes over in the TCG room. mRNA had bad news yesterday. So it was a short for us. Yesterday we were looking short and that short played out. And then we had some gratuitous news that helped us. This could be a little 4-hour bear flag. Careful getting too bullish mRNA. Doesn't mean overall that this name isn't a gorgeous chart. Man, Bitcoin's pulling back harder now. This is a beautiful chart overall on large time frames, but consolidation is healthy. So right here we got this little hourly higher high, higher low. If we get one more tinier, another higher high just by a smidge, that could be a rising wedge on the hourly, and that would make sense with this 4-hour bear flag. So I would be looking short mRNA, shorting 33687, and I'd round that up to 337. Apple resistance 14634, 14677, support 14428 and 14432. I would be looking to buy the dip bullishly down here and short bearishly up here. And I'm sorry, that's just not clear, but right now we're in purgatory. I don't want to trade in purgatory. I need the resistance right behind me if I'm shorting, or support right below me if I'm going long. BA with a beautiful beat. We're going to be watching that Mars level of 241. So your support, you're not really establishing any because of how fast it blew up. But I would say 230 and then 222.25 are your supports. Resistance 235.89 and then 241. Coin. So coin did not break this high over here on Monday. So in pre-market, it didn't break it like Bitcoin did. So the laggard trade would be looking for it to break this level bullish, this high, 24980, since Bitcoin did it. Well, now Bitcoin's pulling back. So it may It may put a little pop in this trade idea, but it could still work. Coin to the long side, looking for a break of Monday's high. Support 240.10 and 234. Facebook has earnings after hours now. Here's the problem. Google had earnings, and so Facebook is getting a lift off Google's earnings in anticipation of, which the implied move on Facebook I read is 5% plus or minus. Please verify that. But if we get a run hard into earnings, then it's going to squelch, well, what's the right word? It's going to deflate the bull's high hopes because it's running pre-earnings. That's not good. We want it to kind of go sideways and then get the lift off earnings if they do indeed beat. Resistance 27.46, 27.75 on Google. Google got 13. Let me put the microphone high. 13. I hope you heard that. Upgrades. I hope that wasn't too loud, me being silly. But they got a lot of upgrades. They crushed earnings. Support 2730, 271350. Would love to buy a dip around 2710 and get Google calls. But the market has to support this. So y'all know yesterday I was looking bullish FFIV. What did the market do? It crapped. Market went down and it killed that idea. But the IWM put idea and mRNA put idea worked because the market was going down. I hope you see this trend over and over and over. Google to the long side needs the market support and vice versa. They are heavily connected. We need the indexes going up in order for this long idea to work. MSTR. So MSTR, this Monday high of 695, I would look for it to break as a laggard play to Bitcoin, but now Bitcoin's pulling back pretty hard. Was hoping we'd get some bull sustained action, then you could play that trade, buy a dip, and then flip it once it gets past that 695. I would say $700, then I would get out. But this trade idea is kind of getting blown up in pre-market. NIO, we're getting the Chinese bounce. So the Chinese names that have been beat down, and NIO is guilty by association because it's a China company. We're getting this dead cat bounce in pre-market. What's a dead cat bounce? So when you sell, so if you sold over here to short it, 43.30, you sold to open, and then you buy to close in pre-market saying, whoa, we're bouncing. Well, that causes the dead cat bounce. Does everybody have a wonderful bull interest in NEO all of a sudden? No. It could be just bears covering, and we won't know that till we get some hourly trend changes, and that differentiates the difference between a dead cat bounce and true bull interest. So your resistance in pre-market, 41.44 and 43.30. If we were to barrel into 43.30, even up to around 43.50, I would look for a short in NEO. Shop with a beat could get super feisty over 1602.42. You have support at 15.55, 15.46. I would hope I could buy this on a pullback, and I would buy a lotto on shop to the long side because we have FOMC day, and it's just going to be a tough trading day in general, one of the tougher ones. So again, if you're not getting those expressions of extreme caution from me, then I can write it out for you. TDOC down 9%, getting smoked on earnings. 4-hour RSI is oversold. Would love to short this 143.15 I have highlighted. If it were to pop up into that level, I think TDOC is a short on pops. Look at this velocity of the 8 and 21. I don't know if we'll get a pop that high, but I would look to short TDOC on pops. Hey, Rosie. Thank you. All right. QQQ, we're coming up into this hourly 50 MA. Y'all know I don't like that. Look at how flat. Now, I like it better to go short when it's frowning. It's just flat, but that shows no momentum. But these earnings names could just rip the faces off of all the QQQ bears, including myself. So be protective. The beauty, Dan always says, the beauty of being a retail private trader, we're not on a desk. Well, maybe you are, but I'm not on a desk. I don't have to trade today. I can just go get my hair done. I'm getting my platinum blonde roots covered, if you know what I mean, wink, wink. But that's all I have to worry about today. That's my biggest stressor of today, is making sure that the hair lady covers all my roots. That's it. And that my highlights come out right. I don't have to trade. You don't have to trade. So make sure your setup is very high conviction. Your conviction muscle and your discipline muscle are the two most important muscles you have in trading. Flex those suckers and flex them today. All right. SPY, resistance 43995, 44071, support 43842, 43711. Okay, what are you stuck holding a short position? Oh, yeesh. Okay, so Rosie, if you don't mind me getting kind of rough with you, there's no reason for you to get stuck. We have control over our trades and our trading plan. I know newer traders, this happens. It's happened to me a bunch of times. So I'm not saying I'm better than, because it happened to me. But when you get in a short and then it starts going against you, you got to have a plan. And you say, okay, I shorted in the hole down here around 320, and when it changed that 5-minute trend and got over 325.75, I'm out. Take a stop, take a loss. Taking a loss is part of trading. Winning traders, they don't not take losses. I hope that double negative made sense, but they take losses every day. That's what successful traders do. I think it was a $298 loss yesterday on my FFIV idea. So winning traders take losses. It's the size of those losses that tell me if you are a consistently profitable trader, because you're going to have them, have a trading plan, and stick to it. So now you are tasked with, you're in this short, and I would say the riskiest stop is up here at 33687. A more conservative stop is if it gets over 335, I would stop out. Oh, you're bald, you can't get your root done. Hey, Tom. Okay. Oh, we got 100 likes. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to go listen to Jason. If y'all need anything else, TCGers, I'll be in the room and I'll be able to help. And you pre-gamers, why are you not a member of TCG? Duh. But I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Hey, Robert Mack, look at me. I'm a freaking sucker for y'all's questions. Amazon is not in a good place. Yesterday, it gave a lot back, and this 4-hour EMA could be resistance. And I mean, God forbid, but I actually would be looking short 36.56, 36.57 on Amazon. I would look to short this level. We do have earnings Thursday, so it's very unpredictable. But it'd be hard for me to make a case to go long Amazon today. All right, that's it.